Hey guys, Andrew here. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. As some of you know, we were invited to the Vancouver Chinatown Festival to host a live podcast. This episode will just be a collection of some of the interviews we had with strangers who came to our booth. So yeah, we hope you enjoy this episode. Peace. This is
Banana Boys Podcast, episode 32. We are here in Chinatown. I'm nervous as hell. People are taking photos of us. There's music. I'm freaking nervous. What's up?
I'm your co-host, Andrew Lee.
I'm fucking Jaden.
Jaden, why are you nervous today? Where are we today?
I don't know. It's just weird doing this by ourselves.
So this is, we're outside here in Chinatown Festival. This is like the 20th anniversary of TD Vancouver Chinatown Festival.
Yeah.
And we got invited by, shout out to the event organizers, Betty and Stephanie. We got invited to do a live podcast here. For some reason, I guess they want to attract the younger audience or something.
I guess.
Even when they invited us, though, they had no idea what we were doing. They're like, "Are you guys YouTubers, podcasters?" But they're like, "Yeah, let's invite us on," and we are here now. Podcasting is loud as shit.
We're getting some weird looks and shit. Ali's low-key our dude to get people on.
Yeah, people just walking by looking at us. You want to come join?
Yo, come on.
You want to come join? Mic's open for you. Talk about whatever.
Literally anything you want, we're
Anything you
good.
want, man. Become our first guest. You want to come on? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. What's your name?
My name's Brian.
Brian? Here's your mic, Brian.
I'm Jaden. This is Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Nice to meet you, Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
All right, Brian. Well, here's the mic. I know it's kind of loud. There you go. Speak into it.
It is kind of loud.
Yes,
Hi.
it is very loud. Can you hear me?
I can
Somewhat?
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. How
You look like a newscaster.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you guys?
We're good. We're just
I'm glad that the rain is let up a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah, I know we were
Hopefully
worried
it
about.
stays away for the duration.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It was pouring in the early morning earlier, right?
It
I don't
was,
know.
yeah, not overly nice.
Yeah, no, we're as surprised as you are. If you're surprised, we got invited a few months ago. They're like, "Oh, come on and do a podcast outside." We're like, "Sure, why not?" So
All right.
we're just coming and interviewing strangers, I guess. So
Good. Yeah.
what are you doing, Brian? What's up?
I came down to enjoy the bit of the festival. I'm actually at the booth next door here.
Oh, you're right here.
I'm right here.
Oh,
yeah.
shoot! Talk about this. What is this booth?
I'm. I don't know if you can see it there. I'm one of the candidates for city council. Coming
Really?
Up,
One of the sorry?
one of the candidates for city council.
Oh.
I'm running with ABC Vancouver.
Oh wow! Okay.
And here to see what's on the minds of people walking by.
All right, there you go.
Oh.
That's exactly what we're doing. Wait, what is ABC Vancouver?
ABC Vancouver, so a better city.
Yeah,
It's a fairly new political party, municipal political party.
Okay.
Ken Sim is our candidate for mayor. We have 7 candidates for city council.
Right.
We're going to be running a slate of park board candidates and school trustees. And we're down here to let people know a little bit about our political party, what our views are, reminding people to come out and vote October the 15th, how important it is to come out to municipal elections, and express their opinions.
All right. Well, why should people vote for ABC?
Well, yeah. Well, I think a lot of it is from the people I'm talking to. A lot of people, they want some change. They want a change in the city. Everyone I've talked to over the last couple of months seems to have a different concern. But I think the one theme I'm seeing on a regular basis is they're not happy with the current city council and the current mayor.
Okay.
It's a bit of a hodgepodge at City Hall right now. There's not a whole lot getting done.
Right.
And we think we have a great platform to move the city forward in a good direction. Make a clean, safe, fun city again.
Right.
Is our current mayor, is that the Kennedy guy?
That's right. Kennedy Stewart's our current mayor.
Yeah.
I
He's independent, right? I don't know too much about him, but
So he was an independent.
Yeah.
He's formed his own political party now.
okay.
Our goal, obviously, is to get Kennedy Stewart out of the mayor's chair. We
Yeah.
want to put Ken Sim in. Ken is an amazing guy. He was born and raised in the city of Vancouver. Went to school here. He's raising 4 boys here, and he doesn't see a future for his sons in this city. Much like I don't see a future for my 2 daughters. So that's why we're running. I was born and raised in the city of Vancouver. I went to Jameson Elementary, Churchill High School. When I went to Langara College.
Okay.
After I went to Langara College, I became a police officer here in the city of Vancouver.
Really?
I'm recently retired after 28 years.
28 years at the arts.
So I've been my whole life is, or a good portion of my life has been about public service.
Oh, wow.
And I want to continue that at City Hall.
Was it 28 years as a VPD?
As a VPD officer, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Had many jobs at the VPD, and one of them, some might know me as the VPD spokesperson. I did that for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Between 2012 and 2017.
Right.
Oh, so you were the spokesperson during the. Were you the spokesperson during the Stanley Cup riot, or was that after?
I was just after the riot.
Just after, okay.
After, right. So was it was sort of like public service always something you wanted to do?
You know what? I wanted to be a mechanical engineer.
Oh.
So it wasn't always on the radar. I was going to school. I was taking chemistry and physics and calculus. Those were the things I was fairly good at.
Yeah.
My first year of post-secondary, I realized I wasn't a big fan anymore.
Yeah.
How come?
So I had some professors that I didn't click with.
Ooh.
School was something I was decent at, but
Okay.
I was never a huge fan of. So I started looking to alternative careers and that sort of thing. I looked into law enforcement. The more I looked into it, the more I liked it. I did some volunteer work out at the Youth Detention Center out in Burnaby. I did some volunteer work with the Vancouver Police Department. I was a reserve constable with the Vancouver Police Department before I became a full-time constable. So it was one of those things where the more I looked into it, the more I enjoyed it, and it was a great career. I had a blast. The VPD treated me really well. The last 4 years, like I said, I'm recently retired.
Yes.
Just in May 1st, I retired.
Wow.
Congratulations.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you. The department treated me really well.
Yeah.
The city over the last 4 years, not so much.
Oh.
Which is again some of my motivation for running for city council.
And that's why you're running for city council, exactly.
So the candidate is Ken
Ken Sim.
Is he gonna come today?
Ken's unfortunately not going to be able to make it today.
Okay.
But I would imagine most of our council candidates will come.
Yeah.
So if you see them over here,
Yeah.
flag them over.
Yeah, we want everyone in here.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be happy to chat.
Yeah.
It's, you know what, Vancouver's a great city.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of potential. And there's been a decline over the last 4 years, and we want to change that.
All right.
We want to make Vancouver fun again.
Fun again.
More of this.
More of this,
Yeah.
more events.
You know, there's lots of little things that we can do to make the city clean and fun and safe.
Didn't we have recently someone hired a public fund officer or something like that?
Yeah. So the city, basically a nighttime, kind of like a nighttime czar or whatever you want to call it, to look at sort of the nighttime business, to encourage nighttime business and things like that. That's still in the works. I don't know a whole lot about what the long-term plan is for that. That's been something that was sort of tabled several years ago, and it's just sort of resurfaced again.
Right. Okay, well, one sentence on why people should vote for you. What is this? If you can wrap it up in one sentence.
Okay, for one sentence, the city of Vancouver needs a change. We are that change. ABC. Come out and vote October
There you go.
15th.
Vote for
October
them.
15th. If you're in the city of Vancouver, go check out all the parties, but also just
Oh, do your
what you gotta
research
do.
too. But there you go.
Yeah, check out our website. Take a look at all the candidates. All their profiles are online. Tells you a little bit about them. Our platform will be up. Our full platform will be up soon. And check us out.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for having
Thank you,
me.
Ryan. Thanks for being the first guest. All right, have a good one.
All right, we need the rest of the candidates on too.
We need the rest of the candidates on here.
We can't be biased.
We can't be biased here.
Shout out to Ali for getting the first guest on.
How's that, Ali?
It was pretty good, yeah.
Pretty good?
Yeah, I liked it.
You liked it? Oh, that was.
Is that ours? Is that ours over there on the
Huh?
thing on the ground over there?
Is that our thing?
Our sticker.
I think that might be
Oh, come
our
on.
sticker. Hello.
Sure, what are you doing?
We're just
just
talking
talking,
to
man.
people by.
Did a podcast.
You just did a podcast
Let's
earlier?
do another one.
Yeah, I did one. It was like an hour and 20 minutes long.
Really?
About my career as a professional magician and
Oh,
festival
wow.
producer.
That was today. Here's your mic if you want to hold
like
it.
a week or so ago.
Oh, a week ago. This
Yes.
is a local podcast.
Yes. This one is out of Buffalo, New York, and doesn't air until end of August because he likes to tape them in advance. Because he's also a busy magician.
Oh, wow. Sorry. So what is your name?
Merlin Cosmos.
Merlin Cosmos.
That's my stage name.
Okay.
My real name is my secret identity.
Okay.
If I told you that, I'd have to kill you. Right?
Okay.
And I'm against that. In most
I'm fine with
cases.
it, but
We're fine with it. You can kill
I'm
us.
fine. I lived long enough.
So you're a magician.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And you're still practicing. Or is that how you say it? I'm not
Well, am I still performing?
performing. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
Yes, but right now I'm concentrating on my singing.
Oh, you're singing.
singing.
You're a singer too.
I've always wanted to be a singer, and now I'm finding my voice.
Oh my
And the
goodness,
closest thing to being a singer is actually a magician.
Really? Why is that?
Well, because a singer, take the music aside, okay? If you're a stand-up comic, you have to be funny.
Sure.
If you're a
Yes.
juggler, you have to juggle. If you're a
Exactly.
ventriloquist, you got to have a puppet or something, and you got to make your voice sound like it's coming from somewhere else.
Yes.
Right? Now, a singer or a magician can be dramatic, can be novel, can be funny,
Right.
can be informative.
Right.
You have more range as a performer, as a magician or a singer than any other variety act.
Wow. I never looked at it like that.
Yeah.
Singer is like, 'cause they're both sort of entertainers,
Yeah.
I guess, but you have to be
You gotta
very
entice the
dramatic.
crowds.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you go
exactly.
see David Copper. I saw Siegfried and Roy years ago. It was marvelous. And it's one of the bits that they did was really funny because he turned Roy into a duck.
Wow.
And then later, this tiger he made appear turns into Roy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's back in
yeah,
the show,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
So
And
how-
I was telling the guy, I've seen some of the funniest people ever because I started out the Yuck Yuck circuit when it was like a brand new thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and before that I saw, you probably know, George Carlin. He was like the hippie stand-up comic, and in 1972 he came up with this album called Class Clown.
Class
And his
Clown.
famous bit is the 7 words you can't say on television.
The 7 words you can't say.
Yeah,
on
and I
television.
won't say them here because you might get censored or terrible
Well,
tweets.
everything
or
goes on
Anyway,
here.
and also the Nixon Watergate thing was on, and he was funny. But one of the funniest 90 minutes I ever saw was in front of 25,000 people was the amazing Kreskin, who does mind reading, and
Right.
he used to tape his TV show down like a couple miles from where I lived in Scarborough in Toronto.
Yeah.
We used to climb the transmission tower outside the station. It was about 200 feet high.
Yeah.
It was kind of like dicey in a rainstorm or
Yeah.
when it was windy, but when you're a teenager, you do really stupid things
Yeah.
for fun.
Right.
So we used to do that, and I went to see his tapings, and when I saw him, George Carlin was in front of 2,500 people. Kreskin was in front of 25,000 people.
Jeez.
Wow.
And funny, and probably overall the most amazing magic show I ever saw. He did 5 things. His opening 22 minutes was kind of a monologue.
Right.
And then just smoothly, he borrowed 3 finger rings from 3 different men in the audience.
Okay.
And linked them together.
What?
And
And-
linked them together.
Yes,
Okay.
and like Ontario Place had this theater in the round that sat 10,000 with a revolving stage, but behind it were these hills, and you could fit another 20,000 people on the
goodness.
hill. So
Jeez.
here I am, I'm halfway between Kreskin and God, and he twirls the finger rings that are linked on a pencil,
Yeah.
and without binoculars, I could see they were linked.
What the?
Wow.
Yeah.
Just completely
Jeez.
3
I mean,
random.
standing ovation. the
Oh my
guy got.
goodness, wow.
At the end of his show, the end of his show, he has 5 people take his check. One of them goes with him to his dressing room to make sure he can't see it. There's no cameras, he doesn't know anything.
Right.
So the other 4 or 5, they go and hide his check somewhere in the audience.
Yes.
Okay.
And he comes back and he says, "Who's the last person to touch the check?" And okay, I am. Okay. He rolls up a handkerchief. He says, "Grab one end and follow me." And he leads the guy who they find the check.
What
And if he
the-
doesn't find the check, half of the money goes to the place he's performing in.
Right. Oh,
And the
wow.
other half goes to Big Brothers because that's his favorite charity.
Jeez.
Wow.
And here's a funny story. When he was in Australia,
Yeah.
he was in Australia at the 70s and he wanted to tape his TV show. And Frank Sinatra had been there. And People hated him. They practically
Oh.
drove him out of the country on a
Really?
rail. He said terrible things about them because the reviewers and all of that stuff.
People hated Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, well, he was kind of going through a bad time. I don't know. I really don't know why, but he did. He just annoyed, he peed them off. What can I say, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the first night, he's at the Sydney Opera House. The place is sold out. And he goes to find his check, and he stops at the end of an aisle. And he says, I'm going to forfeit my check, ladies and gentlemen, but I want you to know I am a devout Roman Catholic. Please show me where the check is hidden.
Okay.
A nun stands up, hikes up her habit, rolls down one of her stockings, and there above her knee is the envelope with his check.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So he wasn't going to find the check.
You get that?
It's like kind of a pun.
Yeah.
Kind of like a
Oh
call
my
out.
god. Yeah.
It's
that's
pretty
funny.
crazy.
Yeah. Oh wow. So you've been doing magic for how long?
As a living, since 1975.
19.
My summer
What
job
the-
after I finished high school and before I went into university, I did 4 30-minute shows a day, 5 days a week for 7 weeks for the playgrounds in Scarborough. And then on Sunday, I did 4 hours of magic at a pancake restaurant, going from table to
What the
table.
hell?
And my friend said, if he doesn't hate this, at the end of the summer, it's probably what he's going to do.
All right.
So then I went to university. I was at a vaudeville show, and then I got into the Yuck Yuck circuit. So I used to
Right.
work with Jim Carrey.
Oh,
I used to
wow.
work with Howie Mandel.
Jeez.
I used to do Canada's national TV show, Mr. Dress Up.
Wow.
When my youngest daughter was in university, she said to me, Dad, I still got street creds with my friends because you were on Mr. Dress Up. And I said, yeah, but I worked with Howie Mandel and Jim Carrey. She goes, oh, Mr. Dress Up's way cooler
Yeah.
than Jim Carrey
Yeah.
or Howie Mandel.
Wow, that is amazing.
So, do you live here or are you still from Toronto?
No, I've been living here 19 years.
All right.
Just over on Georgia Street, which
Yeah.
used to have like one restaurant, and now I can't count them. But, I probably spent 35% or more of my time on the road. I performed on the train back and forth. I performed all over Southern Ontario, and I used to produce festivals like this
Yeah.
for 25 years in
Jeez.
Southern Ontario, mostly in Toronto.
wow. So you still perform every
Yeah.
now and then, sort of.
Every
but-
night I did. There's a monthly magic show on a Wednesday night. I think this Wednesday is their next one at the Havana on Commercial.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Right.
it's called the Parlor Magic Show.
Parlor Magic
And
Show.
the host Rob Teska, he puts it on, and they usually have him, 3 other magicians, and a variety act.
Right.
Like somebody does hula hoops or
Sure.
juggling or something. Like
Sure. And are you the headliner?
No, actually, I opened the last. I was there the day after I had
Oh.
my 61st birthday in May.
60.
Yeah,
You look good for 63.
Well, bless you. I hope the young women think so. 65, not 60. So, but I did the opening 15 minutes in
Yeah,
May.
exactly. But now you're focusing on music or singing. you
Yes,
said.
and
Singing.
I'm also working on my foxtrot
Foxtrot.
and West Coast swing.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I like dancing where you can actually like hold something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not grope them, but
Yeah.
hold them.
Right.
It's where you can dance with anyone, look in their eyes, twirl around.
You could do it all.
Yeah.
Jeez. You could do everything.
Well, no. Actually, you know what? A friend of mine, crazy friend of mine who I've done comedy shows with in clubs, he's produced 6 NFTs for me.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, he's the
Merlin
NFT guy.
Cosmos.
I'm an NFT guy.
NFT Pop-Up Studio is his handle.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'll tell you, I've been a Linux computer geek for 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've followed all sorts of trends. If I'd had a powerful enough computer when Bitcoin started, I could have mined it with but I didn't. And do you think I understand anything about NFTs? Like, you might as well be talking to me from Pluto.
That's how I feel when he talks to me sometimes.
Right.
He'd be saying some NFT stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, but like Google's going down, so can I just buy that instead?
Yeah. So you do have your own NFT
I
collection.
have 6 NFT. I've never really seen them. I have no idea what they look like or what I can do with them. He's going to try and help me sell them. I don't know.
Do you know the name of your NFT?
Merlin Cosmos, I believe.
Merlin
Okay, what's your name?
Cosmos
I might
NFT or
have it.
something?
Do you have a card?
And his handle is NFT Pop-Up Studio.
NFT
on
Pop-Up
Twitter.
Studio.
So you'll probably
Merlin
find
Cosmos.
it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's
Okay.
amazing.
And what's your name?
Sorry, I'm Andrew.
Andrew?
Jaden.
Jaden.
Yes.
And is this like our Like, are you at a university or a college or something?
Yes, I'm still in university. I'll graduate next year.
Which university?
I'm at UBC.
UBC.
I'm just studying
I got a
psychology.
student card.
You got a student card?
Yes.
What do you
I
mean?
took a science course at UBC.
Oh,
They give me a
yeah.
student- But now I'm old enough. I can take a course at any college or university, no charge.
Right, exactly.
So I'm looking forward to trying to find a good French course.
A good French course.
Yeah, I've always wanted to learn French.
You wanna learn French,
Je
right.
parle français un peu.
I failed
Sorry,
French,
I
so I
didn't
don't
take
know.
French.
What?
I failed French, so I have no idea.
Well, that's funny. There's a young guy who works. He's of Chinese heritage, and he works in the coffee shop at the end of Georgia Street.
Yeah.
Good tap dancer too.
Really?
Yeah, and he took French immersion, so
French
he
immersion.
speaks
Right.
French.
Well, what did you take in college?
What did I take? Psychology.
Oh, you took psychology
I taught
as
psychology.
well. But magic was always something
Well,
you wanted.
psychology and magic go
Okay,
together.
you're right. Sort of
You know.
not manipulative.
I
but
didn't like the psychology course because it was based on B.F. Skinner.
Right.
And I met Dr. Timothy Leary like 5 times.
Oh.
And he got thrown out of Harvard as a professor when he and 2 other professors successfully changed the rate of recidivism. You know what recidivism is? When a person goes to prison, if they come back, that's recidivism.
Right.
So the rate of recidivism at this medium security prison they worked with in Massachusetts was 80%.
Oh wow.
And 80% of the people they worked with never ever returned to prison. They never committed maybe a parking fine or a
Sure.
speeding ticket,
Yeah.
but no break and entering,
Right.
no assault and battery, nothing like
Jeez.
that. And what they did is interesting because the Canadian government has been doing this for the last almost 5 years. They used psychedelics.
That
Yes.
was the key to it.
That
They
was the
used
key.
psychedelics.
That and the Tibetan Book of the Dead. They
Whoa.
read the Tibetan Book of the Dead through them because he said, isn't just a funeral ritual, it's actually a form of self-initiation.
Whoa.
And if you know anything about Buddhism or Hinduism, it takes you through all 6 realms of cyclic existence.
Right.
So if you go through all 6 realms, you kind of get some insight into that.
So that was what? Sorry, what was the name of the psychologist again?
Dr. Timothy Leary was a neurogeneticist.
Neurogeneticist.
Or neurophysicist. I mean, the physics of the brain.
Right, and
Right.
he discovered using psychedelics.
Well, he decided with the other 2, they figured out that this would be a good way to approach it. And now the Canadian government is doing things like that with ayahuasca and other such things because they realized with that and some good psychotherapy, what takes 20 or more years for people to be cured of depression with these $200 a pill prescriptions, way cheaper in less than 2 years. Most people
Jeez.
are cured or better. You know,
Right.
they're coping with their life.
Now, what about psychedelics makes people sort of better in
gotta
such
try
a
it, man.
short time
Well, you
frame?
need a guide, right? You know, I remember when I saw Dr. Leary. Funny, it was at Yuck Yucks, and there was a Q&A, and somebody said, "Do you think everyone should do LSD?" And he said, "Would you put rocket fuel in a Volkswagen?" No.
Good question.
So,
Right, good point.
You know, there was another scientist from Czechoslovakia, and he started researching in the late 50s, came to North America in the mid 60s, and was appalled by the politics surrounding what is basically medical scientific research.
Right.
And he produced a beautiful book in the 80s called Beyond Death.
Beyond death.
And because his specialty was working with terminal patients. And when he gave them LSD, they were in a soft chair with low lighting, soft, gentle music, and they wore a blindfold. And the reason he put on a blindfold is that sometimes you start freaking out. You start getting afraid.
Okay.
So he would touch the blindfold and say, "Remember the blindfold. Everything is going on inside of you.
Wow.
Everything outside is safe. It's all inside of you." And that,
Because they could be sort of seeing stuff even though they're
you're
blindfolded.
hallucinating like whatever, you know, because all of your brain synapses and channels that normally are kind of protecting you from
Right.
all of your filters are basically
And then
broken
tapping
down.
that is just a reminder.
Just a
it's in
reminder,
your
you're
head.
here, you're safe. And everyone he worked with said, "Well, I know I'm going to die, but I'm not afraid anymore."
Jeez.
Wow. That's,
I'm gonna listen back to this later and just like pick up everything you said, just write it down, Google it.
Sure,
like-
okay.
I mean,
Jeez.
do you have personal experience with ayahuasca or
LSD,
LSD?
yes. Salvia, which is another one, yes.
and you feel
Mushrooms I don't like because they don't like me. They hurt my stomach.
right, and is that sort of like similar experiences? Like, do you experience similarly to like the other how other people experience it? Or what is it? What is it like for you?
Everybody's experience is different. I don't know. It would be really hard to explain right now.
Okay.
I mean, it can be very creative. It can be very frightening. I mean, I haven't done it in like, I don't know, 30 years.
30
or
years.
something.
Okay.
I think that I did the South American one a little over 20 years ago.
Right.
And 3 days later, I got arrested.
Why'd you get arrested?
Don't ask me why. But my friend who said, okay, you should do this because you were in a house all night with this shaman from, I can't remember which South American country, and he's kind of guiding you and making sure you're protected. And he said, well, you know, this stuff really speeds up your karma. It's like, okay, well, I didn't want it speeded up that much. Is that
exactly.
firing squad next? Because I don't want to go there.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Wow, that is amazing.
I
Yeah. Speechless.
So like when you tell people you're a magician, right?
Yeah.
Do you hate it when they ask you to pull a trick out right there?
Yeah, can you pull a trick out right now?
Like, what you got trick for? Like,
got trick
this
right
is your
now?
card. Like, do you hate that?
No.
Oh no, you love it.
Really?
Most of the time, you know, sometimes, hey, I'm too busy. I'm shopping. I got
Yeah.
my hands full of groceries. But yeah,
Do you have a trick for us today?
I'm going to try.
Oh,
I'm really.
okay.
But, you know, I need
Andrew used to show us the same exact card trick over and over again.
Oh, really?
It's not. It's just
Okay.
the sleight of hand. Where
You've
you,
got
yeah.
a-
Okay, I can hold it for
Are
you.
we on a camera?
Yes,
here?
we're on the camera. Oh, you got him out. Okay.
We gotta show you this picture later. Is this you from
Yes,
before?
when I used to
Wow.
have longer hair.
Dude,
And
We
a
gotta show you
friend-
this later.
A friend of mine asked me, why did you cut your hair?
Yeah.
And I said, because when I lean forward, it's so thin on top, I look like a musician in his 50s who's trying to be hip. I don't want that.
well, I like the look now. The hat. I like the hat. Honestly, the hat was really nice.
So this is my computerized pack of cards.
Okay.
Okay.
Big blue printed
Computerized.
circuit
Wait, should we
board.
bring the camera over here closer? Can you see it, Ali?
My computerized pack of cards.
Okay.
Am I on mic? Yeah.
Yes, you're a mic.
Big blue printed circuit board design. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Now, computers were originally designed to sort numbers, right? So we don't have a 1, but we can use ace, 2, 3, 4. Now that's the proper order.
Okay.
They're all mixed up. The computer sorts them out like this, beep, and you see that the ace has been sorted. Now we do beep. The 2.
Whoa.
There we go, has been sorted. Finally, beep. The 3. And I'll turn the sound off for the last one. Sound is so annoying. And so what's the last one, Andrew? It's the 4. I
It's
have
the 4.
trouble. I have trouble remembering that.
I'm just-
Somebody shows me the trick, I'm confused. Okay.
Okay, 4.
Okay, so besides sorting the cards, you may also want to mark them. And a good way to mark them would be to change their color from blue to red.
What?
But if you do that, you have to change the color of all the cards from blue
No.
to red. And I'm going to stop there, okay? I could go on. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Joker's juicy. I'm going to stop there. That's my computerized pack of cards.
Wow, we gotta. Oh my. Did you? That was amazing. Did y'all see that? They just changed colors.
Good thing I'm not an actor anymore, or you would owe me a ton of money.
Wow. Okay.
I'll
Well.
look forward to it. You send me a link on the podcast.
Yes, we'll send it. Again, thank you so much,
Is it
Merlin.
airing now, or will it
Well, we'll probably post it next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're just recording it now.
Everything's recording. Yeah.
cool.
Thank you,
Nice
Kim.
to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you, Merlin. Wow. Hello. Well, is it recording? Here's your mic, bro. Is it recording? Yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm subbing in for Jaden.
I'm starving, man. You gotta go.
It's okay. I got you.
All right. What's your name?
I'm Isaac.
Isaac Andrew.
Andrew, nice to meet you.
Ali, nice to meet you.
Ali?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Oh, the double A?
Double A, yeah.
Word.
Double
Like
A
battery.
here. This is just pretend this is Jaden today.
Pretend like I'm honestly, I got the fade yesterday,
No, no.
so I look more like Jaden.
It's for the Asian appreciation, right?
Thank you.
just
I speak Mandarin. Jaden doesn't, so
Oh.
I'm a bit more Asian than he is.
word.
我的中文是不好。
Oh.
That's pretty
I
good.
think the accent's pretty right. It's about yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. His accent is there.
Yeah.
That's good. Wow. Well, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Good. We just came off of dragon boating.
Dragon. You're on
yeah.
the Dragon Boat team.
Yeah, and then we just came here to the festival, see what's up.
Which division are you on the Dragon Boat team? I know
Oh,
there's
it's
multiple.
U24.
Sorry,
U24, like under 24.
what is dragon boating? Just for those of us who don't know.
Oh, what is dragon boating? What is dragon boating?
That's a great question.
Apparently, some people don't know.
Dragon boating is it's like a Chinese, old Chinese. I don't know if it's like sport. Like
It is a
I would,
sport.
I mean,
You're
it's a sport, but,
active.
like back then, right?
Okay.
But like you got 22 people on the boat. You
Oh,
got
wow.
20 paddlers, 10 rows.
Mhm.
You got one caller, and then you got one person steering the boat. I think it's like a team. I feel like it's like a team.
And what are you?
sport. I'm a. What do you mean?
Like, what's your position?
Oh, I'm a stroke, so I'm at the
Okay,
front.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh damn! There's different names for like the positions on the boat.
Yeah, so there's like the front, middle, back. Like the middle, like 5 to 7 is like considered like the engine room because like you can really like propel the boat
Okay.
at that point in the boat. But
And the front's like the steer.
yeah, no, the front.
Oh, wait, no,
it's
the-
like a
it's
timing
the back?
like rhythm.
Yeah, back is caller.
Front. So then there's also somebody like right at the front of the boat that has their own seat that faces like everybody else.
Okay.
And they call. So they're able to like look around and like
Right.
see like where they are in position wise, and
Right.
if like the boat needs like an extra push to like get.
Or
past.
he's like the motivation guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he actually, or does that person like pedal, or do they just like?
Oh no, they don't paddle. It's like a
Okay.
coxswain and like rowing.
Oh yeah, bro,
right?
I'd love to like that. And he'd be like, go.
Yeah, you
go.
just go. You just go.
Let's go harder, harder.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
join the UBC Dragon Boat team or something.
Honestly, yeah.
No, join my team.
Or join his team.
Yeah.
I'm really motivational. You got.
Yeah, Dragonheart 0.
What was the name?
DH0.
DH0. That's
DH0.
the Dragon Boat team. Are you
Zero,
guys
zero Dragon Ball on Instagram. That's the plug.
DH0 on
Yeah.
Instagram? All right, go follow them. DH0
No,
into
zero,
Dragon.
yeah, zero Dragon Boat on Instagram.
Oh, zero
Yeah,
Dragon Boat. Are you?
I think everyone else is confused now.
Yeah, my bad.
Is your team good?
I mean, we were like really close to what they call like Rec A, which is like the top for recreational teams.
Okay.
Maybe about 0.3 seconds off.
Oh,
that's like
man.
that's like the margins that you get when
the-
you start getting up there. Yeah.
Right.
But we got silver over in Rec B. So
Silver and Rec B. So
yeah.
that's
So
not
it's,
bad.
like decent.
That's not
yeah.
bad.
And is it
right?
like
It's okay.
gendered, or is it co-ed? Like,
Yeah, it's co-ed. It's usually mixed. I mean, there are open divisions,
Okay.
which like there usually are all like guys, but like, man, let me tell you, there are some women that are just absolutely ripped and jacked. That
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
That
I
will-
bet. That will just
I'll bench.
destroy you.
I'll bench. I'll pull up you for sure. No doubt.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
There's people like that on your team.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
On
Oh,
our
no.
team. Oh, for sure. On our team. Oh, for sure.
Why'd you hesitate?
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
I gotta
for
think
sure.
about it.
Yeah.
How long have you been dragon boating?
Personally, I started in like 2018, so it's been about
Oh,
4
damn.
years. But there are some people on the team where it's like the inception, and that was like 2015, maybe a little bit earlier.
What got you into it?
Me personally, a couple of my I went to McGee, and in my senior year,
Okay.
a couple of my friends were paddling. So closer into the fall after we graduated, I was interested because I don't know. At first, low key, I was just like, yeah, you guys are like dragging my. That kind of seems like I don't know. I felt like it was kind of weird, I guess, in a way. But like then I went and I watched one of the Concord Pacific, which is like the big race.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, Concord Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I went, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I'm allowed to.
Yeah, of course,
I was like,
bro.
"Oh shit!"
Go
I
ahead.
was like, dude,
He asks after the fact.
hype. Yeah. Just in case, yeah. It was hype.
Yeah.
And after that, I mean, I played like ice hockey and field hockey, so like used to like team sports and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so, it just drew me in, and like
Just like the energy and the environment.
the energy
pretty much.
for sure. Like just seeing like having your team like together to like pushing towards one goal is just like something, and that's like for all team sports, but I feel like especially for dragon boating, just because like it's very much like being in sync and blended with your teammates.
Yes.
It's like I don't know, it's just something that's like can't be replaced. In my
That makes
opinion.
sense because everyone has to be in sync, right?
For
Pretty
sure.
much. If one person is like
Exactly.
it screws up the whole thing.
And it's like a 22-person sport. Like that's like a basketball team, but they're all having to like not like on the court, but like with the reserves.
Yeah.
But like they're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
they're,
yeah.
they're all having,
all playing.
but they're all playing at the same time. It's not like
Yeah.
you can sub someone in. Everyone has to give it their all.
Yeah.
Like there's no like bench player. Everyone's the starter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys big basketball people or?
Yeah, I played basketball growing up.
basketball
Did you
growing
play
up?
basketball growing up?
I played like tier 2 intramurals.
Okay.
last
Oh,
semester
word? Oh,
Yeah.
where at?
at UBC.
Oh, UBC.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Nice.
Wait, where'd you go?
I go to UBC too.
Oh,
Nice,
shit.
nice.
Still at
Yeah.
UBC?
Study, yeah. I'm got like one more semester left.
Cool, cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, how come you didn't do the UBC Dragon Ball team?
I got snatched up first. That's why with with this team, and then like. And then like before they they snatched me up before
The team DH
zero. Yeah, DH zero.
DH0.
Yeah, they snapped me up. Oh, like I have my friends already on there too. So like even like
on DH0.
yeah. So
Okay,
even if
okay, okay.
I was more enticed, like I feel like I don't know. There's just something about
You did it for the community aspect, and the fact that your friends were there was more of a draw than just like the actual sport itself.
for sure.
Is
I think
DH
community is so big, and I think that's what draws a lot of people. Like you have a lot of like long-time paddlers in the community too, and I think that team aspect definitely keeps a lot of people like paddling for so long.
Do you see
For sure.
yourself paddling for a long time?
Yeah, possibly. I
Your
don't know.
eye.
I'm like,
Sorry.
it's kind of weird, but like I'm a big. You guys hear about pickleball?
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh, word?
no,
No,
wait.
pickleball?
I've heard of pickleball. Yes.
Pickleball, yeah. You ever play in like high school?
I didn't
No.
play, but I've heard of
It's
it.
funny you
Heard of
mention it. My friends
It's
want
like
to start
It's like
playing.
a huge growing, like fast-growing sport
Is
in
it?
the U.S. No, you'd be surprised. Like it's actually like it's associated, I'd say, with like a lot of. It's been coined as like an old like people like retirement sport.
Like a rich people sport.
Yeah.
Like an old.
But I think it's really easy. I think what the great aspect is, it's like really easy to like pick up because it's like basically like a modified wiffle ball.
Yep.
And it's usually played in doubles, and you're playing on like a badminton sized court. So because you're playing doubles, you don't actually have to like move around. Like you can play singles, of course, but
Right.
you don't have to move around as much.
Right.
I don't know. It's great.
Wait, why did you bring up? I'm trying. Why did we bring up pickleball?
Pickleball? Oh no. Yeah. Who knows?
I found ourselves in pickleball.
Why did we pick up pickleball?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I
We're
found
talking-
us like in pickleball. I'm like, I guess here we are. Let's see
Oh,
where
yeah,
it
yeah,
takes
yeah.
us.
We're talking about dragon boating.
Yeah, they're talking about basketball.
No, we're talking about basketball. But no, I was like, are you going to dragon boat for a while?
Oh, Dragon Ball for a while.
And you brought pickleball.
Oh my bad. No, it's just because like no, that's another like I also play that.
Oh,
so I
okay,
can see
okay,
myself.
okay.
I
Both
think,
of them. You'll
I
be
think I can see
playing
both. Yeah, doing both rank thing for
for a while.
for sure.
Oh wow.
Good longevity for
Yeah,
sure.
man,
If
man.
I don't get arthritis at like the age of like 25.
What?
I have arthritis.
Oh, for
Do you
real?
actually?
I do.
Rheumatoid?
Yep. No.
Oh.
Wait. Osteoporosis.
Osteoporosis?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm 22. Yeah.
22?
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's
man.
okay. It's
No, it's okay. I think I got rheumatoid arthritis and like the Q. Like it's queued up for me just like genetically.
Me too. My mom has rheumatoid arthritis,
Oh,
so
word. Word.
we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Do you want to come on?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
All right, boys. it
Well,
was a
thank you,
pleasure.
Isaac. It was a pleasure.
Cheers. It's been a pleasure.
You keep dragon boating.
Oh, thanks,
and,
man.
And pickleballing.
and pickleballing and basketball. No.
And basketball.
No, no. It's recording, right? We're all three in frame. We good. All right, this is our fourth guest. This is Mr. What is
Hi.
your name?
My name's Jeffrey.
Name is.
You can call me Jeff.
Name's Jeff.
I don't want to. I don't ever. I hate that. You know, like
I know.
ever since 22 Jumpsuit came out, and like the year 22 Jumpsuit came out is when I also left home for the first time, and I lived in residence. So I was introducing myself to a new person probably once every like 20 minutes, 10 minutes. So it was like firstly it's awkward to say my full name because nobody calls me by my full name
Jeffrey,
except for like 3 people in my
Okay.
life and the government. So like it's just hi, I'm Jeff. And then they're like it's
I'm sorry.
I know. I've gotten used to it now, but it's the same thing. It's like if your name's Daniel.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
There's so many names that have just been ruined. Like,
Yeah.
I have a friend named Karen. I have a friend named Daniel.
Oh boy.
It's like,
Ruined in a good way and ruined in a bad way.
There
Like,
are some.
Jeff and Daniel were ruined in a good way. Like whenever I see a Daniel, I'm like, damn, Daniel. Like,
Look at him. He's
I'm not like. Would you rather be called like the associations of a Karen though?
yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's
Okay.
fair. I think
Okay.
there was there was like a stats can or not Canada, but like the U.S. Birth registry released like a statistics board, and like the percentage of people who named their kid Karen after like this year or the year prior like dropped astronomically. I don't know how bad the number was, but it was something like there are like so few newborns that are named Karen.
We have to like protect them. Like they're an endangered species.
They're endangered. They're actually endangered. Like
If you see one in the wild in like 20 years, just know that like it's like seeing like an albino
Damn.
tiger.
Yeah. Like it's like how badly man, how badly would you get like bullied in school because of that?
Do you think
Like,
any
it's
like
so-
current Karens changed their names?
I asked.
legally
Right?
changed?
Like I have a friend named Karen. I asked him like, what would your name be better as? So we like brainstormed for 20 minutes on like different names that like she
Christine.
kind of looks like. It was like Christine. Christine was one of them. Oh, how'd you do that?
I just know.
Maybe it's no, okay. Maybe it's just
pretty
a thing.
common name.
It must be like a thing where like I don't know. But like. Yeah, we like brainstormed it for a bit and it was like, oh, you're kind of like maybe a Samantha, maybe like a Sabrina. You're kind of not that kind of person. That's like, okay, yeah, you are a Karen, but like not bad Karen. It's like you've already associated that with.
Do you think you're a Jeff or a Jeffrey?
I am more of a Jeff.
You think you're more of a Jeff?
I can be a Jeffrey, but like that requires me to like have a little bit of preparation and stuff like that and be really serious. But I can be serious. It's like weird. My current job requires me to be really serious a lot.
What do you do?
I work for a branch of ICBC.
Whoa.
We run a program that is mandatory by the government to help people who have DUIs, like driving under the influence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, if you get a DUI in the province of BC, you are charged with typically a 90-day IRP, which is an immediate roadside prohibition, which means that you can't drive for 90 days. Your license is taken from you, and you're referred to our program.
Whoa.
By the way, very expensive to get a DUI in the province. Don't ever do it.
How much is it?
Upwards of $3,000. Because
God.
your ticket is $500. Your car is impounded, which the impound lot will charge you by the day, but your car has to be there a minimum of 30 days.
Jeez.
So that's like $1,000. And then our program costs $930. And it's mandatory. Like the government mandates you that you have to take this program. So understandably, I do like front-facing work and registration and statistics. So I register a lot of the people, so I interact with every single person who has to do our program, and it's a lot of people. It's a surprisingly large amount of
And
people.
they're all pissed.
I did the math, and it's like 2 to 3% of the population of BC
No.
goes through this program
What?
at some point.
They all have DUIs.
Yeah, it's surprisingly high.
What's like the average age of a DUI? Like, would you say?
Anywhere. The range is crazy.
Really?
Lowest I've ever seen, registered a guy 2006. He had a learner's permit. It was a learner's permit. He drank and he drove his dad's car, and
God.
got
Come
into an
on.
accident or whatever, or got pulled
Yeah,
over.
please don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Come on,
I'm
guys.
telling you. Oldest person I've ever registered. God, it must have been like 85 or something like that. And he was like, I can't even like. He's like, I don't even know if I should do this program. But he paid the $930. And then he was like complaining to me about how he probably couldn't pass the visual test. And I'm like, why did you register for the program? You have an option to not register. We just won't ever give you your license back. But it sounds like you don't need a license.
Yeah, like at 85, like where do you have to be anymore? You know what I mean?
Exactly, like-
Yeah.
your grandkids will come to you.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
What-
and yeah.
What are the people like? Are they all like mad and angry when they're
No, yeah,
registering
they're all
for it?
a lot of okay.
Or
So
they're all like, oh, okay, yeah. I
Like
messed up.
remorseful, like.
you get a couple that are
Okay.
like really pissy. That are like there's like once a week I would say you get a guy that comes in and is like, this is a government conspiracy. You guys are like taking advantage of the poor people and stuff like that. Because this is something that I started to come to terms with a lot at work, which is like, it's hard to differentiate sometimes when you know that your business targets like lower SES, like socioeconomic status people, because those people are more prone to be in situations where you are drinking and driving.
Right.
Because a lot of those situations culturally means that like you've been taught that like alcohol is a problem solver, and like there's like a solution there for those kinds of things. And unfortunately, this is probably the most in my life I've ever interacted with First Nations individuals and like people of like northern communities and stuff like that, because let's be honest, not much to do up there other than like drink, right? And it's really unfortunate because you really get to see that like there's a big spread of those kind of people. There's like some people who are like really entitled, really ungrateful, that are like how dare you take my license away? Like I need that for work. I need that to do this. And I'm like, find another job. Sorry, homie. Like if you can't take care of yourself and be a responsible person and not drink and drive, find another job. Find a job that doesn't use a car. I'm sorry. Like driving is a privilege, and like that's something that like I have to like really hammer into my own head, because I lost my license when I was like 2 years ago, because I had an N and I drove overloaded. And
Okay.
I was like
okay.
10 over the speed limit
doesn't
on
do
Granville
that?
Street
Who
in
doesn't do
Vancouver,
that? Come on.
where there's like a speed trap there.
I think that's like he's the first person I've ever met who's like overloaded, but has actually been caught.
actually-
yeah, overloaded.
And
because
I'm so
everybody does it,
sorry.
right?
Like
everybody does it.
like I can rat out like 20 people right now, but I won't.
It's like I know what it feels like to lose a license.
Do you have it back now?
Yeah, I have a full
Okay.
license. I have like a
making
class
sure.
5 and stuff. I told like this is so funny. I told my office when I got hired that this was the case, and they were like, "That's fine, as long as it wasn't a DUI." I'm like, "Yeah, it wasn't a DUI," and they're like, "That's okay. It happens to the best of us."
Wait, you lose your license on the first time?
Sorry.
You lose your license on the first time?
So I was on an N.
Yeah.
If you're on an N and you break multiple infractions in one go, you lose your license.
And you had
you surrender it.
You only have one infraction though, right?
No, but he was speeding and overloading.
And my friend convinced me to peel the N off the back of my car.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so
yeah,
that's three.
Three things in one go. The officer technically went easy on me because my phone was in like the drink area thing. Because my car at the time was older. And it used an aux cord to connect to my phone. So like I had to aux my own phone into the thing so I could play music and stuff like that. And I was playing music. So technically speaking, you're not allowed to have your phone on like the center console area.
Right.
But he was like, that's fine.
So
he was like, that's all right.
As someone who works in ICB, like with an ICBC affiliate, I'm really interested. Do you think that BC's driving rules and like regulations, like the steps you have to take to get your license and all that, do you think they're a bit antiquated? Because so I'm from Egypt, and when my dad like wanted to teach me how to drive, he taught me like proper like shoulder check, all that stuff. When I came here, for a city with so many rules and regulations, y'all suck at driving.
I think
like y'all, some of the worst drivers I've ever seen. Like I said, I've had like 12-year-old kids drive next to me who I would trust more than some of the people I've seen in Vancouver.
I think there is a big sort of discrepancy there between like the ability to test well and the ability to be good in practice. You can eat, it's fine. We'll chat in the background. I think it's like at the end of the day, like you can. Like I think what it is Vancouver has, or BC in general, has created these exams that are difficult actually when you look at it like objectively compared to like American. Like my friend, I've done an American driving test before for fun when I was in LA.
As you do.
Don't ask. It's just I'm a bit of a car person, so I thought I would be kind of fun. So compared to the American driving test, the BC ones are way harder.
Oh, yeah,
especially since you have to do an N driver's license, and then you have to do a class 5.
And then you wait like 2 years, then you wait a year till you get your class 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
BC's one way harder.
BC one's way harder.
Yes,
It's not way harder, but it's harder.
But even
it's
like, so when I was doing my class 5, it took me 3 times to pass.
took me 2 times.
Yeah, so I would like, this is what would happen. I'd be driving, and then shoulder check. She's like, you didn't shoulder check enough. I'm like, but I could see.
Yeah.
They really want you to go like.
You gotta exaggerate. You gotta really exaggerate.
And I'm like, well, no one's really gonna do that when they drive.
They don't do that either.
So
probably.
yeah, so it's like, who like are we lying to each other just like?
So when you say antiquated, right? Like I do agree with you actually because it's like it's the same reason why standardized testing has kind of gone into the dumpster now because what it does is it teaches a lot of drivers to study for the test, and then once you're actually in practice, it doesn't really do anything. So that's why like. I think the 2-year thing is really interesting. I like that because it forces you as an N driver to drive on the roads more frequently and get out there and do stuff. And then when you do the class 5, in theory, you should be able to pass the class 5 in one go.
So an interesting point I've just like thought of was instead of having the 2 years of driving time, what if you have like a minimum number of hours you have to spend on the road?
Yeah, but there's like no way to monitor that,
Right.
right?
I don't know. Like I understand logistically it might be a bit difficult to kind of figure out, but
Yeah.
if you can,
But if you were able to,
like,
I think I think that would be way better.
Make sure that everyone got like at least let's say 50 hours of just like in suburban areas in like downtown, because even like when you're studying for your actual test. This is actually something my instructor told me. He's like, "Oh, do it in the Point Grey one because it's easier. The Richmond one's a bit harder.
Richmond one's like the hardest.
Or like
I
if you go
did
to
Richmond twice.
if you go to the North Van one, you go on a highway. So it's like people are obviously going to go for the easier option.
Yeah.
But then when you're in the like the Point Grey one, you're not actually going on a highway. You're dealing more with like school zones, more with residential areas. But then when driving in downtown or Richmond or whatever, I was like, oh, okay, wait, let me have to pay attention.
No, yeah, I mean, like when I was like getting my driving test and stuff like that, some of the things I discussed with my dad was like literally like, oh, make sure you set your time so that's earlier in the day or like mid-afternoon so that there's no other drivers on the road.
Yeah,
because like a family friend of mine did his driving test, or not family, classmate of mine did his driving test at like 5:30 p.m. in Richmond, and it was like, so he passed. which
Oh,
I
wow.
thought was amazing.
Amazing.
And he was like, yeah, I passed because we didn't go anywhere. Like, we literally went to, like, we got, like, halfway to the actual course route because he knows what the route is. Because he
Right.
failed previously and then registered. That's what I did. You register for the exact same place because they do the same route every time.
Oh, you can choose a route?
No,
You know,
but
like, each place has the same
Most of the
Oh,
places
yeah.
do the
Okay,
same
yeah,
or
yeah.
similar
Like,
routes,
yeah.
except for Lansdowne Mall. The Lansdowne one in Richmond, they have 3 different routes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you never know which one you're gonna get.
Oh, yeah.
The one that I did was Elmbridge. There's a claim center there in like Richmond. It's like a tiny ass place. That's the same route every single time.
Okay.
But like, anyways, my friend did it in Richmond, same route. That place. He got halfway through the route. They realized they didn't have enough time, and they just turned around.
Nice.
And he passed.
Nice.
And he was like, so I was like, maybe.
I've also heard things like that, like if you go in like on a rainy day,
Yeah.
and then you drive like a bit under the speed limit, they don't like
They don't care. Yeah.
they don't care as much. So it's like again, like I think the only like I don't know if you know, some of the best driving happens in like Sweden, Finland, Iceland. They have some of the
I
lowest.
have heard that.
They have
Yes.
some of the-
Why?
they have-
Yeah.
So apparently they're like the rules and regulations that they have are just so thorough and so like adaptive that people actually like understand them. But in terms of in BC, we don't really understand why we have to wait the 2 years, why you can't do this, why you can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like transparency and like
Okay.
you do so
ICBC does have a big issue with transparency.
so yeah, and that's one of the more interesting cases I've noticed. Like even so the United the UAE, the Arab Emirates, when they were doing their driving. Like their driving rules and regulations, they got the people who wrote the book from Sweden to write their own one.
Oh.
And that's why their driving is actually like I don't know if you know, when you come to BC with your license and you want to get an Evo, which is like the car sharing service.
Yeah.
If you use any foreign like license, it might not as accepted.
Except for
the United Arab Emirates one.
Really?
Yeah, like
not
I-
even like the Swedish or Finnish
No,
one.
they're accepted as well, but like in the Middle Eastern region, Egyptian
interesting.
ones aren't accepted, Saudi ones aren't accepted.
Just the UAE one.
because they know how thorough the driving rules are.
That's really cool.
So
Well, when you say driving is better in Sweden, is it like less accidents?
less accidents, like less incidents of road rage, less incidents of like. And that all might have to do a bit with like the planning and like
I wonder if the road rage is indicative of like the population rather than the way that they teach
rules?
their
Maybe.
courses.
Right.
Is there a way to teach
That's
or
what I'm-
test
that's what
for
I'm
road
saying,
rage?
right?
Like if
I'm like-
oh my god, now I'm picturing like you do a BC like a class 5 test and the driver just the instructor just pokes you every 5 minutes.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Are we there? Are we there?
Like does
Or
transparency?
like they like hire like a sleeper agent to like drive in front of you and slow way the hell down. And you have to like grit your teeth to not be like, I can't pass him. I can't pass him. I can't pass him.
So do you deal mainly like DUIs for like cars or also for things like motorcycles and?
All DUIs. So
All DUIs.
you can get a DUI. You can get a DUI on a bicycle. Do you know that?
is that common?
That's not common, but it's
Yeah.
possible. It is technically because it's a DUI is a provincial offense. It's not like it's like a driving offense technically, but you can be fined for it. I don't know if it goes on
so
your
if I
record
go
or
to a
anything.
party on my bicycle, I might get a few drinks. I'm going back home.
Technically, I don't know about. I think it's e-bikes specifically because it's a
Okay,
motorized
okay.
vehicle.
Sure. Okay.
But I'm not too sure on that. I don't know the law that well. But the no, but you can get it. Like we've gotten people all the time from like all different kinds of licenses and stuff like that. Like people all the time will like the main complaint I get from a lot of people is there's a lot of like class 1 drivers. The class 1 is the hardest license to get in BC. It is the commercial driver's license.
Yep.
Anyone who has a truck who drives a truck has a commercial license.
Right.
And those people are obviously angry because if you have a class 1 license, that is your job.
Literally. Yeah.
So,
But no, if so you
but
know,
also if you have a class 1 license, you should be more.
you should be the
responsible.
most.
should know.
be the
Exactly.
mo- if you're driving, like think of it this way, like an 18 wheeler is basically like a little mini like plane.
Yeah.
If you hit someone, they're gone.
It's-
And you should know better.
Absolutely
You
does.
should know
You should
better.
know
But yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously
Exactly.
I know like they drive like long hours.
Yep.
They probably get tired.
Yep.
That alone is like is
That should be a DUI.
That, yeah, no, I think
mean-
DUI. Like, we understand that they have like schedules to meet. They have like work and
It's
all,
something
and
like
all
you
that.
can't drive more than 10 hours in a day or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
But for them, they should be the most careful out of
Yeah.
anyone.
Exactly. No, but like the thing is, I empathize a little bit because this is where like the law gets a little bit weird and my job gets really weird because there like part of the reason why this course exists and why like people are like, why should I take this course? I'm not an alcoholic. I just made one mistake. And then I'm like, no, we do this course. We run this course because it teaches you the law as well. Because like there's one law in BC that people don't really know. It's called a care and control law, which is officers can literally come up to you if you're sleeping in your car. And if you blow over and you're sleeping in your car, even if you're in the passenger seat or you're in the back of the car, if you have the keys on you, then they technically have a right to believe that you could drive away at any time. So the care and control law in BC states that basically you can be given a DUI even if you're not driving the car, even if the car is not on. So the reason why a lot of truck drivers get pulled over is because they sleep in the back of their vehicles because they have to, and they like drink before they go to sleep. And they're like, well, in the morning, I'm like not drunk anymore. And we're like, no, because alcohol technically stays in your system for 24 hours. You could still be under the influence, and you don't know that.
Care and control.
Care and control.
Care and control.
Care and
You heard
control.
Karen?
Yeah, we were talking about Karen.
I saw Andrew's face go like this, and I'm like, he probably heard Karen.
Karen twice.
Yeah, so that's why, like, and it's a bit of an older, but it's also a new law that a lot of people don't know about.
But it's interesting for the like the truck drivers or like the people who drive commercial vehicles.
Yeah.
That their employer doesn't take.
No.
There's no like.
I mean, some truck drivers will have their employers pay for them, so that kind of helps out a little bit. But yeah, a lot of them are not happy to take the course because
Time,
it's
money, all that stuff.
time, money, and also part of it is like a humiliation aspect.
It is.
Yeah.
Some people don't like we try and make it as like objective as possible, and like we have people. Basically, the course looks like you have 10 people in a room with a facilitator that basically goes over all of these things.
So what actually happens in the course?
Yeah, so you sit in a circle and you piss. It's like AA, kind of, where you sit in a circle and you talk about the circumstance that led you to this situation.
wow.
And then the point of it is that actually a lot of the course material that we write isn't that necessary, other than the law stuff. It's like nice for people to know. We teach them a little bit about make sure you have an action plan and stuff like that and stuff. But like the real benefit that most people gain from this is that like you get to hear that like other people do the same thing as you, or other people do it worse than you, and like people are like, well, I'm not that bad of a person, like I just did this, and then you hear a story from someone else like, oh, they didn't do anything and they're here. Like, okay, maybe I can like cut down a little bit. Maybe I know like this.
Very interesting point that you brought up. That's actually something I use when I like, let's say when I'm kind of like not in the best place. I'm like, well, listen, it could be worse. And then like when you start talking to people about it, you're like, yes, the situation is bad.
Yeah.
But then it could be much worse. You're in a much better position to like lift yourself out of it than other people. So that's actually kind of a healthy response to it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that like really suffered when COVID hit is we had to run our program remotely and electronically. And one of the ways that we did it was over the phone. But the over the phone way didn't work very well because we couldn't teleconference a bunch of people. We had to basically have our facilitator, who was a trained like psychologist who has like years of training and they're like master's
Like
degrees
a psychologist degree.
So yeah, masters at minimum. They all are well trained on this kind of stuff and like rehabilitation and stuff like that. They're well trained, but they call these people and they have to call them one-on-one, one at a time. And you get 15 minutes with them at a time or something like that. Normally they get like an hour in a group setting with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we found that like, so the phone sessions happened all of in 2020 when the pandemic first hit. And now I'm seeing like some of these people are coming back. Like I'll recognize these names and like people can do the program multiple times. We call them 2-timers, 3-timers, etc. Highest I've seen is a 6-timer, which you think by that time
They should have a license.
Right. So
Like,
6 times, by the way, is like $5,000 that have done because you have to pay $9 or $30 every time you take this program. So like, anyways, irrelevant. Basically, like people do this program multiple times, and like the chances of them doing it again, we noticed went up when they were over the phone. Because what we found is that in a group setting, even over Zoom, or Microsoft Teams is what we use.
Yeah.
Even over Microsoft Teams, the reason why it works in a group setting is that like nobody wants to hear from an authority figure that what they're doing is bad.
Right.
You learn this in school.
It's
right?
like being told off.
It's being told off by a teacher, right? But people are more receptive if like the general consensus of the room is like, hey, that's kind of like dick behavior. Like that's kind of
right.
It's also that idea that like when something is kind of like tough or hard, when we share it, it kind of becomes a bit more easier to manage.
Yes.
Like and I guess like that aspect, like that human aspect, was kind of lost when you did it online.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that's so. Now you're noticing the names kind of pop back up from 2020. You're like, oh, it's like Jane Doe, this person, like
I immediately look at it. It's like, okay, this person finished the program in 2020 and like
and
November.
How long's the program?
20,
like
it takes
30 days?
It takes like 8 to 9 months, 6 to 9 months.
Oh
to
my
finish.
God.
But you're only active for a few hours. It's just we have a 3-month-long wait list. But like in the meantime, a lot of people get their license back, so it's just in the back of their mind, and then they have to
you
go.
can still drive.
Yeah, you can still drive, and you're only attending session like once a week for 4 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
It's just that there's a 3-month-long wait list.
Okay.
And you can't be on the wait list until you start the course.
Right,
Until you pay
right.
the 9 and 30.
Right,
So like,
right.
like people will, they'll finish the course. And I'll see some guy like, oh, November 2020 or whatever. Oh dear.
Yeah, go.
I think I have to leave.
Okay.
Okay. But
It's all good.
basically, people come all the time.
Well, thank you for that, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh no, it's a spam call. Never mind.
Oh.
What was I saying?
People
yeah,
won't finish the
basically-
course. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll just see somebody come back and you'll know the name, and then I'll like look up their file because we have all their files on record, and I'm like, oh, this guy had phone sessions. Of course he did. And we have a little tally going on because I keep stats as well, and it's staggering. Like something like 60 to 80% of the people who do phone sessions come back
Right.
because it just doesn't work.
But if
When
it's group,
normally recidivism is something like 30% or like 20%.
Okay.
even if it's group.
Yeah, even if it's grouped, it's like still 20-30%.
Yeah.
I would
That's
say
still
like
much lower.
I would say
Yeah.
on average, 60% of the people who do our course are like people who just messed up once. They'll never be back, and they're very sorry for what they did, et cetera, et cetera. They know the gravity of their situation. They're annoyed that they have to pay $930, and they're annoyed that they can't drive. But ultimately, they don't come back. They're like, cool, learn my lesson.
Sorry, out of interest, is the alcohol limit in BC? Like,
I don't know the number.
You don't know the number?
I don't know the exact
Okay,
number.
no.
That's also why, because nobody does. Nobody knows the exact number.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of knowing the number, right? Like, do you have your own household breathalyzer that you can just sort of blow
Like,
into?
not just know the number. It's just kind of like
They
again,
say on average it's 1 beer.
Oh wow.
really.
Really?
1 beer.
Oh damn.
That seems. I don't know
thing
the
is,
reasoning
that's
behind
different
it.
for
It just-
everybody else.
Yeah, like my
One beer can be like anybody. So it's like, how would you know, like, to be exactly in that situation where you have because like 1 glass of wine maybe. It's like they say 1 drink, but like 1 drink means literally anything.
one shot of tequila
Yeah,
isn't the same
exactly.
as like.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
So that law is like, it's really vague on that end. So how do you regulate that?
Does that
like,
go back to the idea of like transparency, like
Exactly.
the government, like because I know in the
Transparency.
states they tell you like whatever there's a number in the states in each state it's like 0.08 whatever it is. So
Yeah, I mean there is a number. Like there is a number obviously because they have to legally define the number.
Yeah.
I don't know what the number is because it doesn't matter to me because it matters to me whether or not you blew over or not, and like ultimately in the course I can't judge whether somebody's here or not. They get a referral from Road Safety BC, which is like this big government organization. They decide, they make those decisions, and the police officer is ultimately the one that pulled them over. If they get to me, like, I'm sorry, you're here because you're here. I'll just deal with your registration, and we'll move on. We'll try and get you back on track with your life. But yeah, so it's the vagueness and the transparency thing is a really big issue. I mean, yeah, this goes into like so.
Transparency is the issue.
Customer service is weird because it's like my job is customer service,
But
but
you-
like these people have to talk to me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be nice. I just have to be firm and explain my situation
like
entirely.
you being nice is just you like sympathizing
Right.
with the situation. You
yeah.
understand how
If-
like tedious it is.
Exactly. If you're
Yeah.
gonna be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. I'll do everything in my power to help you out. I can't do much.
But
I
it's-
actually don't have that much power at all.
Okay.
But if you're gonna be mean to me, I won't do anything to help you. I will just move you along. And honestly, if you're gonna be like super rude, I can just hang up. I can just hang up with you.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
told
come on.
multiple people like, hey, I'll talk to you later. You got anyone else?
I don't know who that is.
I gotta go run and find my friends.
Oh no
They
worries.
just
Thank you so much for this. It was,
abandoned
like, it was
me.
really
But I'm glad I got the chance to talk to
interesting.
you
Yeah.
guys.
I don't know who that was.
I haven't
Okay,
never
sorry.
done podcasting before. This
This
is very
is
fun.
fun, I guess.
Um,
Oh, so we were your first?
yeah, I've never been on a podcast
This
before.
is this is my first time hosting a
This is
podcast.
first-
Really?
Yeah.
I've been okay. We tried to do like a podcast. We tried to do like an actual play thing for like video games a while back, because you know that thing where like everybody's like, oh, you know, our lives would be so great at sitcoms. They're really not.
No.
Like I think
No.
podcast format is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for the
Thanks for
opportunity.
coming
No
on.
worries, I
Really
appreciate it.
I'll invite you on next time
Yeah.
in the
Oh.
proper studio.
Absolutely, I would love to.
man.
We'll find some time.
For sure.
I'm leaving Vancouver in about a month or so.
Forever?
To go to school. No, to go to school.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to law school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where?
In Windsor.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
cool. Congrats.
Middle
good
of
luck.
nowhere.
Good luck with
Wow,
that.
good luck with
yeah.
that, man.
Yeah, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
All right, man.
Probably. Yeah. But we'll link up.
That's fun, man.
Nice.
Thanks, Jeff.
Have a good one, Jeff.
Thanks for hosting.
No worries. Yeah.
Hope you
appreciate
guys
it.
like Ali. Maybe he's a new replacement.
No, I couldn't appreciate it.
I'm just kidding. And that's going to wrap up the episode. We hope you enjoyed this special collaboration we had with Vancouver Chinatown Festival, and we hope you enjoy all the interviews we had with these strangers. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a 5-star review. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and anywhere else. And yeah, we'll see you in next week's episode.